Okay, so today we're going to talk about making images for your Facebook posts. So our last lesson was on writing content. And with our content, we want to have an image because an image is usually what's going to stop people and want them to read. So that image is actually the first thing that they see that's going to be like, I'm going to read that post. Okay, so that what you put up as an image is equally as important as the words that you say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign into Canva. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to sign into the free account and show you how that works. And then I can sign into my pro account and show you some of the upgrades and that sort of thing. So when you sign up for an account on Canva, it will give you the option to try the pro account for 30 days for free. Okay. And so I can show you the difference between the two. I've used the pro for so long, I thought maybe I'd even forget what's free and what's in the pro account. So that's why I thought it was probably a good idea for me to set up a new account. Let's hope I remember the password. All right. So when you log in, this is your dashboard and this is what it's going to look like. And today we're going to really kind of focus on there's lots of things you can do in here, right? You can create a presentation, you can create posters, you can create trifolds, but we're going to really focus on creating Facebook and Instagram images, okay? What's nice about Canva is that the first thing it's going to show is any designs that I've made or created. So I can go back and find anything that I've done. And then it's going to show you some templates. Okay. So an Instagram post is a square. And that's really important if you're posting on Instagram, because if you post anything of a different size, it may not look right in the feed. Instagram will automatically switch this back to a square. Okay. So your head might be cut off, something might be cut off, that sort of thing. A Facebook post is slightly wider, not by much, than a Instagram post. So if you've ever noticed, if somebody posts a perfect square on Facebook, there might be like a little black on either side of the post. So, so kind of keep that in mind, okay? It's just the aesthetics and what it looks like makes it a little bit more visually appealing if you're using the correct size. So what's cool about Canva is that they have a bunch of templates in here. So you can go over here to see all, maybe, and you can create a blank post and go from there, or you can kind of see all of these templates that you can create with this, okay? And as you're kind of looking at templates, just ignore the words, the colors, the images, all of those can be changed, okay, to match what you want. It's kind of like, oh, this is visually appealing to me. Like maybe I want to have a picture of me and a quote or a saying. So I can plug in a picture of me and add that. Maybe I had a weekend away with the kids in the mountains. So I want to put my favorite 4 pictures and say something about, family here. So there's lots of different things that you can choose from. If you're like, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do, a good place to do is pick a template and go from there, okay? Or if you're like, I just want to start from scratch, we can create a blank document. Yeah. So the other thing is nice, if you create a blank document and then you're like, okay, now I don't know what to do, you can go up here to templates. And once again, here are all of our templates, right? So you can kind of start seeing these. And then these are actually organized by theme. But like I use, like, for example, like even though this is a birthday post, I actually use this quite frequently because I like the layout of it, even though it doesn't say happy birthday, right? So the theme, you may just like, like, oh, I kind of like that one. A couple of pictures, and then you could have a little saying or whatever. So if you are not sure, you can always go up to templates and pick something, okay? You also have the option of downloading your own images. So you can upload media from your device, I've never even tried to do it from Facebook, but my other account is connected to Facebook, so that's not going to work. Google, Instagram, your Dropbox, wherever you want to go. So I only downloaded one, obviously. So let me just download a few other random pictures to use. And you can upload them all at once too. Let's see. See, these are my Canva created images. All right. So, okay, so I can have my own images in there of whatever. I can also search for stock images. Okay, so some stock images are free. Some of them are paid. So if I want to add some herbs, a picture of herbs to my image. These here, see, these are free. These here with the little crown are pro. So one of the advantages of having the pro account is that you get a lot of free stock images. This is fairly new, probably within the last 6 months or so, because it used to be that you had to pay $1. So I was spending a lot of money on images. And so for $12 a month-ish, right, I get all these images. So if you download something that's not free for you, just know that when you come over here to download, it's going to tell you like you owe $2 for whatever you have in here, right? And then you pay a download. Don't download with the watermark, okay? We don't want to do that. That kind of takes away from everything, okay? So there's that. If you're
How do you download, sorry, Tiffany, how do you download without the watermark? I've never been able to do that or see how
you have to pay for you either have to pay for pro or you have to pay for the image.
Okay.
If you had pro watermark, because see, when I come down here, it'll say don't pay for images, get Canva Pro. Like, and you could try it free for 60 days. But if you're like, no, I don't want that, you could pay, and then you'd have to put in your credit card, and then you'd have to pay for that image to not be a watermark. Over here on elements, there's all sorts of different things that you can do to create your own stuff. If you want to have lines in there, if you want to have shapes in there, you can change the color of this stuff. You can have a frame in there, like maybe I want to have a picture of me. You could do stickers. Having like a GIF sticker that moves is kind of a newer thing, and sometimes having a little bit of movement in an image can attract people's attention. You can add charts. A grid is usually fills the entire background, but there's lots of different things you can kind of play with and plug into this. So they have like these little icons or these, which is, so basically in order for them to create this template, they've used a bunch of these elements to create this template. Okay. So this is where you can totally get lost and be doing these things for hours upon hours because it's so fun to do and creating your own image. Okay. The other thing you could do is with text. When you come to text, they kind of have a standard, like this is what your heading is, this is what your subheading is, and this is what your text box is. But if you want to have some fun stuff, they have some templates down here that you can use, right? Maybe you're like, oh, I really like this. Maybe I want to have a saying and then put my name underneath it or whatever you want to do. So you can kind of use these templates too to kind of guide you in creating some fun. Like maybe you're going to do a quote from somebody. And so you may want to have that. The other thing is you can always change the font. So if you don't like the font that they use, you can just come up here and play around with the font and see which one you like better. And there's tons of fonts. Notice some of them are, I guess, pro. Didn't really realize that, but some of them are pro. But some of them are free. So you can just kind of scroll through and find whichever one you like. Audio is fairly new. You can literally, okay, so what you can do, and I did this the other day in my group, I literally put together like a series of slides, like 4 or 5 slides, and I made a video out of it. So what this one was, I don't remember what it was. Basically, I did like 4 or 5 holistic things to help to remember to manage your fibro. So I would say, or I gave them some suggestions of things to work on. So I said sleep habits, reduce stress, something else. Basically, it's kind of a culmination of everything I've talked about in the month. So then when they downloaded it, it was like a little video and I could add some music to it. And then when I downloaded it as an MP4 video, and it just played like a little video, which is something a little different that you can do as well. I've not really tried to, I have not really tried to plug in my own videos, but like you could plug in a video, I guess, like this as a background, because you see kind of how it's going to kind of sparkle and move. Once again, it kind of would create like a little GIF in your folder or like a little short video in your image to kind of, because that little bit of movement can give some pop, right?
Tiffany, if we did that, right, and then posted it on Facebook, would it actually be that? Would it be moving?
Yes, you have to download it as an MP4 video.
Okay.
But yeah,
Right.
it'll move. You can choose backgrounds. You can choose whatever background you want. You may just want a solid background. You can come in here and pick a gradient. Even this, no, maybe this one you can't change the color. Even like you're like, oh, I like that gradient. No, that one doesn't work. Some of them with the gradients, you can change the colors of, because there's one that I use as my standard branding. Maybe it's this one. And see, I change it to, you know, my branding colors or whatever. So it'll change.
Tiffany, somebody asked in the chat if when it's on, like, it just would they have to click play, or would it just automatically be playing as a
The
video?
other day it just automatically started playing. They didn't have to click play. It was just going. Now I think it goes once for somebody and then they can hit play again, but I believe it was just going.
It just shows up
Just
as
like
going.
a GIF would when you see a GIF. I think a GIF or a GIF, I don't know what they are.
And would it work on SynShare to post to?
On SynShare, I don't know what that is.
It's like a posting app for groups.
You'd have to
Try it.
I would assume so, because but I don't know, because I don't use that. But try it.
Cool.
I would assume it would. It works on Instagram, and I use a scheduling thing for Instagram too.
You can schedule on Canva.
Yeah. I even think that, see, you can directly publish this.
Correct. So go to your 3 dots.
Well, I don't want to do it on here because my other account is connected.
No.
I
would
see
just
here.
show them, and you see that part. Scroll down.
Oh, that's
share.
A pro feature.
Okay,
but
I just
didn't
wanted to
even
show
know
you
that
where,
was on
so you
here.
can show them where you would be directed.
I had no idea you could do that on here. See, that's a good thing that Chris.
It's going to become my end all, and I'm canceling every other subscription I have.
I think I'm going to do that too, because I'm paying money to do that. And then,
well, I'm not going to do later. So later is like Planoly.
Yeah, that's how
I'm doing everything. I'm moving everything to Canva, but we're in the process of moving that right now.
I'm going to do that too, because why pay for multiple things to do that? And then I'm downloading and then uploading. It's like, just keep it all in one spot. Okay, so before I start designing, I wanted to show you, you can create, folders is a pro program. So I'll show you that. This is really kind of nice, actually, because let's say, and I'll show you kind of how I organized mine, is that I'll have like all of my selfies here. So, or all of the images of me in one folder. So if I'm like, I'm creating an image and I need it to be images of me, it's in one folder. I have another folder that's like, this is like pictures of me with my kids. So then I'm like, I want to go back and use a picture of me with my kids. I've purchased stock images in the past, so I could be like, this is my branding images. So any branded images I've used for anything that I want to reuse is in a file. I have a food folder because I'll post, like this week, it was like the health benefits of mangoes. And today there's a recipe with mangoes, right? So I keep my food folder here. So anything that I upload, I kind of keep organized in folders, so that when I'm like, hey, I want a picture of somebody exercising, I go to that folder. or of me exercising, or, you know, whatever it is. So before the day of getting stock images on here, I've purchased a lot of stock images. I don't know what's under more. Okay, that's probably not really important right now. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to come up and I want to talk a little bit about how you should create an image, okay? So when you have a post and you create an image, you should be using images of you as much as possible, okay? There are times and places where you may want to use a stock image, right? But people are going to relate more to an image of you. So you want to get really comfortable with taking selfies and having your picture taken. So usually, like, I haven't really worn any makeup in a month, mainly because I wasn't allowed to wear any eye makeup, eye surgery. But usually when I do get ready, fix my hair, put makeup on, I just start snapping photos, which might, I don't know. I used to think that that was conceited if I did something like that. It's not. We're business women. So you need to have pictures of yourself doing everyday things, and not all of them need to be professional looking, right? So take pictures of you doing things with your kids, with your pets, with your friends, with whatever. Just start taking pictures of yourself. I go around different places in my house with different backgrounds, and I go outside and I just start taking a bunch of pictures that I can use in my images, okay? Another good thing that you want to do is you want to, you know, like even images of you holding your capsules in your hand, or dumping your packet into your cup, or drinking a mug, which is now cold. It's not very good when it gets cold. Those are all good images. But what we want to get away from is, this is kind of cringy because I'm just telling you, I saw this a lot yesterday, is here's the stock image from Soul with a package, post it, hey guys, come buy this. Because what they're going to do is they're going to see Soul, they're going to go Google it, and there's a couple of people that have had really good SEO, and they're not going to go to your site. They're probably going to go to their site. I mean, even Soul Natural's site is not the first one that pops up. It's a couple of other specialists. And where do you think they're going to buy that package? From them. So you want people to reach out and ask you, and you want them to have, you want to create like, I'm losing my words, attraction, like attraction marketing. You want them to be like, oh, what is that, right? So yesterday I helped Delma create one, and of course I should have put it in my free one, but I didn't. I put it in here because I helped her come up with some images. So what I did was, for her, I did like a before and after. So she's really focusing on the weight loss journey and doing this package. And so she did a post. We helped put together a post where she was talking about her weight loss journey and just being vulnerable about it. Okay. So what you can do is you can do a grid with 2 images. And I hope it's okay, Delma. I'm basically gonna, I don't know if she's on today. I'm basically gonna reuse what you sent me yesterday if I can find them.
That's fine.
Okay, since I have them. And if you guys are like, hey, I want you to create an image of me, put some images in the chat. And be like, here you go, because that's what I'm gonna do for you today. I just saw your other one. Okay. All right. And so I made one a little bit more fancy than this, but it could literally be as simple as drag in the before, drag in the after. I want to crop it so her head's not cut off, right? And she just had this image like on a wall or something. So maybe I even want to crop it a little bit more, make it a little bit bigger. Maybe I want to make this one a little bit bigger. Okay. The other thing that's kind of cool is that you can put filters on these. Sometimes depending, I like to use a lot of black and white pictures. I don't know, I just like black and white, okay? It could literally be this simple. She's sharing her weight loss story. She was being very vulnerable, and she's sharing this, okay? I don't know if I could download from the chat, but maybe something like this unfortunately in my pro account, I actually have images of way more images of me and holding, you know, maybe I'm talking about, let me see. I took some pictures of me drinking Renew recently, but I have so much stuff on my computer that I may have had to delete stuff. So let me see. So maybe I'm doing a post. I don't know, that's a stock image, but let's see if I can find the ones of Renew. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, and I did this recently. I did a post about Renew. Okay. I did a post about how, you know, it helps me sleep. I didn't even say Renew. All I did was put this little copy, you know, I put this in here. I actually talked about yuzu. I only focused on the one herb. And then I said, oh, and it's in this tea that I drink. And then maybe I have a copy or even like a boomerang of me dumping, you know, it into my mug. That would actually work on here. I don't know what kind of saying I did, but maybe I want to say, how well do you sleep? Something like that. Okay. I don't really need a gift or chill. Oh, maybe chill actually kind of fits with this, but right. And so then I posted this up here, and I had so many people say, what are you drinking? And I'm sending out 5-day packets to 3 of those people based on this post. Okay. So they said, what are you doing? I said, would you like to try it for 5 days? This would be the cost. 5-day packets. Okay. So I don't really do that. I don't even know the last time I've done anything like that, but it was a big hit, right? So you could do something like that. So yes, I'm holding my Renew cup. That's kind of coincident. It could be any cup, but notice how they're not going to be like, they can't even really see the whole word Renew or Soul. So they're not going to be like, what is she drinking? Let me Google that, right? Because you don't really see the whole thing, right? So that is kind of a better image. Another one that would be really good, especially with this weight loss package, is maybe you take a picture of your blender with, you know, you could even do like a boomerang of you mixing the blender, because now that I know you can add these things in here, you can. Maybe you have a picture of you drinking your shake and maybe a picture of your blender, right? And talking about, you know, how, you know, this was my breakfast this morning. You guys, me and Cameron love oatmeal. So we've been trying out all these healthy baked oatmeal recipes. Do you know how many people every day reach out to ask me for the recipe? It's ridiculous. Like the other day I posted the chocolate and I think like 20 some people sent me a message and said, can I have the recipe? It was ridiculous. So yesterday I just included the recipe, but people love that kind of stuff, right? So you can include things like that. Okay, so questions. I want to be able to like, let me see, is anybody in the chat? What I want to do is I want to be able to, does anybody, I want you to come off and I want you to just tell me, hey, this is a post I'm going to be doing now or in the future, and how, you know, let's put together an image.
Take
Can we do
advantage
one
of it,
about-
guys.
Can we do one about the weight loss package?
Yeah. So, yeah. So like I said with Delma, I had her share, I said with just one of them, do a before and after, not with all of them. Yeah. So tell me what your post is about.
So mine would have a before and after as well.
If you do it before and after, I don't suggest that you do it like every day, multiple times. I suggest you do like one.
I haven't done mine for.
No, no. But I mean, like, I wouldn't suggest you do it like every single day you're posting about it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're wanting like an everyday post?
Yeah. So yesterday, Delma and I came up with like 4 or 5 posts, right? All of them were about her weight loss journey, and all of them would lead to them reaching out about this package. But only one of them is going to have a before and after. Otherwise,
yeah.
I said just an image of you. So let's, for an example,
So with like complete, drinking complete, or
yeah, that would be a good one. Drinking complete. Even just one of like you feeling like beautiful and confident, right? You can even just come in and like find something that you, like an image that you like. Sometimes I even like to go find quotes. Like I'm not thinking of anything specific right now. So maybe like something like this. Okay. So maybe I'm just going to take a picture of myself, just where I'm feeling beautiful and confident. And maybe over here, I just want to have some wording that says something like, maybe I want to have a quote or something, right? Something about being confident or whatever. Because then people are going to see that. They're going to be like, oh, I really like that quote. And then they're going to be like, oh, what does she say up here in her post, right? A lot of people immediately will be like, I'm just going to tell you this because I've done the market research on this. A lot of people will immediately be like, they're selling a weight loss program, and keep going. Just so you know, they will. So that's why you don't want to do a lot of those. Some people will be like, wow, what did you do? But some people will immediately be like, oh, she's selling a weight loss program next. Okay. So when you're kind of like doing something else that's more attractive, then they're like, oh, let me read the post. And then I'm reading, oh, this is her story. And oh, she's doing this. And it's not about just giving me a magic weight loss pill. It's not about this. Yes, I'd be interested in joining that, right? That sort of thing, if that makes sense.
how would you upload a boomerang? Because the only way that I can do a boomerang is on Facebook. So would it just be off of your Facebook stories,
I
or?
think you can download them, and then you should be able to upload a video. See, you can upload videos. Like I don't have any videos here, but you could upload one. I don't think I have any downloaded to show you, but
Okay.
pretty sure I don't. And if I did, it's probably not. Because it would probably be on my phone. Now you can do Canva on phone. Oh, so here's one. Okay, this is one right here. All right, so it'll take a minute. That's actually my aunt's feet. It's so funny when I did this. My mom's like, those better not be my feet. I'm like, no, those aren't your feet. My mom was hilarious. So for those of us that do foot baths, this could be one. I actually posted this last year and got a ton of people signed up for foot baths. And then we got shut down and no foot baths happened. But okay, so here's just, I sped up her foot bath. So I don't know. See, it's not really going to work here. You would have to download it to get it to work. But here, what I did, if you could see over here, is I literally just sped up the foot bath. Like the 30-minute foot bath is now sped up into like 15 seconds. So you can see everything coming out of the water and everything. So that's something you could plug in too, but you would download it as a MP4. So if I were to go back to last week, I gave you like some post suggestions, right? So let me just go to those really fast. And I can give you more every month, but let's see. I had it open yesterday. So if you were using some of these post suggestions, what I kind of like about what this one does, it'll say, let me just scroll down to one. Well, that's Easter, but let me go to something that's not. Okay, so this is like a testimonial, okay? So you could do a stock photo of someone that represents your ideal client, okay? A photo that shows you an authority, which kind of seems weird to me, a screenshot of an image, a text message, or whatever. So one thing I like to do when I have a testimony is I like to put it on an image like this. Okay, so I'm just going to go over to my site, and it would need to be a shorter one. I have some longer ones. Longer ones are going to be like something like that is way too long to stick on a screen like that. But maybe this one isn't. Okay, so I can come over here, text. I'm going to do my own text. This might still be too long. Okay, okay, so I'm going to put that on screen, but I want it to look really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to pick a background. And okay, I like this background. Well, now I can't see that very well. So now I'm going to come up here to elements, and I'm going to pick a square. I could position that back so that my wording is on top. Okay, and I'm going to come in here and put her name in there. I don't remember who that was, but I'll say Susan. Okay, don't need to have her last name, whatever. Let's put that, down here. Okay. I could make that darker. So it stands out a little bit more. The other thing you could do is that I could take this background and I could fade it a little bit so that you could see that, but still see the words. So maybe I want to fade it a little bit. Okay. And now I have an image with a testimonial on it. Okay. So maybe Susan has given me her image. I will tell you, very few people are like, here's my picture, use it in a testimonial. They'll be like, I'll write you a testimonial and you can use my first name and my last initial, but you may not use my image, right? Like I even had one lady one time who was a college professor and had kind of a unique name. And she's like, you can use my middle name, because chances are like her first name was so unique that, people might be like, oh, that's definitely, I don't know. So, so whatever it is. So then they're actually seeing this testimonial, right? So if I was writing a testimonial, maybe they want to see the actual testimonial, right? Let me go to another example. So this is this is talking about some old memories coming back. Maybe you're reminiscing about your past or reminiscing about, okay, so we did one of these with Delma yesterday. So basically I did one where it's like we reminisced about the past. We reminisced about her weight loss journey. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a template that also has some words. Well, actually we had this template. Okay. That also had some words. And this gave some suggestions to say like, I love when old memories come alive. Okay. So I'm sharing a memory. Now that only goes because my post is going to talk about memories. I don't know why it did that. Okay. So maybe I want to take that off, delete element. Okay. And then people are like, oh, okay. So she's reminiscing about the past. Like that would work if you're reminiscing about your past, if that makes sense. Okay. You could change these colors to anything you want. That sort of thing. So really fast, I want to actually log out of here. And I want to log into my other account, which is a pro account, and show you some of the other things that you could do with that. Let's hope it works. Oh, here we go. Okay, so a couple of things that you can do with a pro account that you can't do here is that you can have folders. Okay, so I save my content. So everything for Bella Health that I've created is in this folder. I saved all my past blog images here. These are all like programs that I've come up with. My Fibro Fix formula, I'm coming up with a Fibro challenge so that they're really easy to find because I've been using this for years. So if you think I'm going to find images that I made from last April's content really easily? Probably not. So this is really nice to kind of keep these things in folders. So that's an advantage. I want to open and show you from scratch. You do have access to more templates that are free. You do have access. So I want to show you how images work. So if I want an image of herbs, let's say, this is a pro account, but I own the pro account. So see how right when I put it in, there's no watermarks. That's because I don't need to pay for this because I am already a subscriber. Okay, so I get all of these images without the watermarks, which is kind of nice. So depending on how many you're making, let's say you're making 30 posts and every single one of them has a whatever, that's $30. The pro account's only $12. And like I said, you can play with the pro account for free. I want to show you the other thing that you could do in here is that, come on, I have saved my branding colors. So I'm not typing them in all the time. So these are my branding colors for my business. This is the branding colors I have for More Than Healed. Because I use these colors a lot over and over and over again. So I saved them there. So I'm not always typing them in or searching for them. So that's another advantage. The other thing is you have access to more fonts. But
Tiffany,
also,
did you create your brand in Canva? Because I seen that you can.
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I didn't create my logo. I had somebody else create my logo, but yeah. The other thing you can do is you can upload fonts. So in the past, I've purchased fonts that I like or fonts very specific that I wanted for my brand. I don't really, anyway, you can upload fonts if you want. Like if there's a specific font that you're like, they don't have this and I really like it and I purchased it, you can upload a font. I did that more when I was teaching. I had specific fonts, but I didn't really create Canva then. Of course, I can upload all my images, which is a lot. But what I really like I said, is the folders. Okay. So I have a folder. These are my logos. You know, this is my main logo. I don't know why my More Than Healed logo isn't in there, but oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Where did it go? Here we go. Okay, so you'll see like I had a 5-day clean eating challenge I've done in the past. All the images for there. All of my Bella images are here. I've used some Bitmojis, so I saved them here. Some of these I could probably delete, but everything for my FibroFix formula here, everything for the challenge here. I actually ran out of room with these are all my selfies here, so I can just come in if I want a picture of myself and do that. I actually have one that says Tiffany down here, but that's because it wouldn't let me upload to those anymore. I used to do a thing in my group where I would do top contributors and acknowledge them, so I keep their images here. I've done some branding for some other people, so you'll see like I did some work for Holly. So I have a whole folder for Holly and all of her images there. So I've purchased some things from, you know, Ivory Mix is one I used to use and purchase things from. So I have those images here. So it's kind of nice to be able to, I don't know why I keep doing that instead of going back, but it's kind of nice to be able to organize your images as you kind of gather more and more images that you want to use. The other thing is if you're up here and you're like, oh, I really like this image, okay, you can pull down these 3 little dots and you can like it. So then the next time you're like, because as you're scrolling, these things will change all the time and you'll find images you like and you're like, what was that again? I don't know what that was. Then you can go to your likes folder and pick images that you like from there. The other thing is you have access to more audio. I don't do a ton with audio, but you could. So this is my branding kit. Okay, so this is how I put this together. So this is my headline font. This is my subheading font. These are my colors, that sort of thing. But you can come in here and create branding and all sorts of things. So there's lots of advantages to doing this. And as now Chris mentioned, now we can schedule things on, I had no idea you could do this, but now you could schedule things on social media. So let's just see next.
Tiffany, do you, how long do you want the recording to go? We
Um,
can keep going, but I'm gonna make you the host just because I have a client call.
okay, make me the host. I should probably
Okay.
stop it here in a minute,
Okay.
but I'll just show you really fast. So here I can post it to Facebook. I could post it to Pinterest. I could post it to, I don't see Instagram on there, but maybe it is. I don't know. Okay, so I would have to reconnect this to Facebook in order to do that, but I can, oh, recommended Instagram. So see, you could post things on there as well. So before we wrap up, do we have any questions about Canva? And maybe I'll stop the recording and then answer questions. All right. So part of it is just coming in and playing around with it and getting used to it. But you can really easily get lost in all of these other things, right? You can really get easily lost in like, oh, should I create a trifold or a presentation or a logo? But to make things simple, stick with what we're doing right now. And that is making a Facebook image, making a Instagram image. The other thing that's kind of nice about this is that what I'll do is I'll go through and I always start with the Facebook size. I think this is Instagram, and I will make all of my images and then I will resize them for Instagram. So this is Instagram. So I'm going to resize them all to Facebook post so that I'm not creating images at the two different sizes. Okay, they might need to be tweaked a little bit, but it automatically will do it for you. So then when I download, I'm like, these are all the Facebook ones. This is all the Instagram ones. It's the same image, but I'm not doing twice the work. And that is a pro thing.
So Tiffany, would there be a way to do your content calendar in here?
Oh yeah, that's how I created the calendar initially that I gave you. Or I'm going to go ahead and stop.